Welcome. This is just a tutorial on how I would bring a sky into this image. Now, bringing a sky into this image is fairly easy, but the problem is with this reflection, because I'll have a sky in, but it won't be reflecting correctly and it will look false. So this is a technique. It's probably more of an advanced technique in Photoshop, but I will show you how to do that. Now, this is not my image. This was an image, gosh, I paid for a course many years ago, and there was a lot of low-res JPEGs that came with it. So I'm just using this for an example. So the first thing I would do is, once you brought your image in and maybe you've done a bit of editing on it, I would come in, I'd probably just unlock it, and Photoshop's had a feature now for a little while now called sky replacement, and it's a lot easier now to bring a sky in. It does a lot of work for you. So you can just get me found up in edit and come down and just look for sky replacement. Now when you open this up, the last sky that you looked at will load. So I found a sky before I clicked record, and this is the sky that I've chosen. Now you can see it's done a very good job of masking out the trees and replacing that. But as I said, the problem is the reflection. It looks, it just looks weird. So if you didn't have a water, this would look okay. Now, replacing skies, it takes quite a bit of practice of getting the right sky, because you kind of want the sky that the landscape that you shot in, the light, you want it roughly to choose a sky that would match that. It's no good having light coming in from the left and you've got the sun over on the right. You want that the pitch to look normal. Now the settings here, you can shift the edge. This is the edge obviously around here. You can play with this. You can fade the edges. You can zoom in and look at your edges. Make sure there's no halos around it. This has done a reasonable job. Color temperature, once again, you can match that sky to the image. Scale, well, you're just scaling the sky. If you go too far down, you'll start showing your edges of your sky. And also you can actually move your sky. If you go too far up, you'll see you start revealing the blue sky. So be careful. If you come too far left, you'll show sky and whatnot. Now you can scale it up if you just want a little bit more. It's to play with. And just be careful, as I said, you don't go too high. All right. Foreground lighting, this is your foreground lighting. Now once again, you can come and play with that, and that can match your sky up here as well. Edge lighting and color adjustment, that's a bit greener, so that's quite nice there. And if you're happy, you can just come and click OK. Now I do have a lot of folders with skies that I shoot, because sometimes I'm out and about and maybe the sky just looks absolutely fantastic, and I'll just take some photos just of the sky. So the other night we just had amazing sunset. These are raw files, so straight out of the camera. Just amazing. Now I'm not too sure when I actually ever use these, but storm clouds, these are mine. Some of these clouds here that I shoot. Okay, so you've got some nice clouds there. That was from the other night as well. So I'll just make folders and put them in, just drag and drop them into those folders. You got blue skies, like just blue skies. Nothing too dramatic. Some clouds there. So waiting to take your images. If you're out in the landscape, look, if the sky looks good, just take some sky photos, and you might want to use those at another time. Scroll down, you can see I've got a lot of skies. golden hour, twilight. Yeah. All right, so let's get back to here. So let's go and click OK, and everything looks good. So you can see that mask over here that Photoshop's made for us. It just saved a lot of time. So what I want to do, I want to flatten this down. So I'm just going to come up and flatten here, or you can come up, if you don't have the Tony Kuiper's action, you can come over and just go somewhere here. I'll flatten image. So I'm just going to flatten it down. So everything that was done to that image is now baked into that image. I'm going to come and unlock this image, because now I want to duplicate this image. I want another image that I can work on the same one. So I'm going to come up to image and duplicate. All right, so I'm just going to duplicate. So one there and one there. It's the same image, one's just a bit smaller. Okay, now on this image here, I want to invert it. Okay, so I'm going to come up and go image rotation, and flip vertical. Okay. Now on this image, I want to copy and paste it into the first image. So what I'm going to do is Control A, it selects all, Control copy or Control C, and then go back to that first image and go Control V to Control Vector. Now you can see here on the layer 1, my sky is the, my inverted one is the first one. What I want to do, I want to drop it under that layer 1. Okay, so my original is here on layer 0, and you can name these if you want, original, and the bottom one is the inverted copy. So what I'm going to do, I want to put a mask on there because I want to paint on this a bit later. So I'm going to come in and just create a mask. All right, now I want to have a look at this bottom image because I need to line it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click on that layer 0 and just use the opacity slider and slide it to the left until I start seeing a little bit of that bottom image, which I've got enough there to see. Now I need to lock this image here, or this layer, so I'm going to come up and hit the lock key so it doesn't move. I'm going to come up and use my move tool and click on layer 1, and now I can bring this around and have a play with it. Now I see the mountains are going to be a little bit bigger, or a little bit more in the water, because I'm looking at these trees, and if I line the trees up, they look all right, but see the mountain is going to be bigger in the water or more forward in the water. So let's just have a play. Yeah, just maybe about there. All right, so what I'm going to do is come back to the top layer, unlock it, and put my opacity right back to 100%. All right, now I need to paint black to bring this foreground in. So change, you can hit the X key to bring your foreground color to black, or use this little arrow here to change it. Hit the B key or click on the brush, and look, you can, like say, 70% opacity, and look, just grab my brush and let's just come in and start painting this in here. I'm just going to bring this down a bit and just see where this goes as I get closer. Yeah, you can see those mountains are a little bit more forward in the water. That's all right. And let's see if I just paint through here to bring those. And that looks good. And just be careful. Okay. All right. we go. We can probably go to 100%, maybe a bigger brush, just using my bracket keys to bring my, we can paint that in. All right, so how does that look? All right. There's probably one thing I would do. It looks very kind of needs a little bit of movement on the water, just to, yeah, it's just like one-to-one copy. But so let's click on layer 1, so that is the water copy, and let's come up to filter and maybe go to blur. And look, there's lots of blurs we could use. Look, no, look, surface blur, see what happens. Yeah, might be a bit too aggressive. Let's go and go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Let's turn that off and on. Yeah, I think that looks all right. 0.3. And yeah, really happy with that. So we could flatten that. I could probably come in and do a crop on that. Let's just come in and just bring that up to there, maybe down to there. Tick. Left a bit of a border at the bottom, don't need that. Maybe a black border. And yeah, so there's a, it's quite an advanced technique in Photoshop to add a sky, and if you've got water, to add that sky into the reflection. So hopefully that just helps somebody. Maybe you've got some images there, you think, man, I need to add a sky to those images, because as landscape photographers sometimes we're out and about and the sky just doesn't show up. So you can add a sky that you've shot. It's your image, it's your sky. Maybe if the sky was taken a day earlier or a day later, and it's taken from your camera, and you've just added it to an image. So painters have that license. Landscape painters can go out, they can put a sky in, they can put some light where they want it. So I have no qualms about people adding skies to their images. So thanks for watching.